Graphs of linear equations in two variables. Here in this problem, we want to graph the equation y equals to 3x minus 2. So if we want to graph this equation, there are several ways to do it. One, we can use the slope and the y-intercept. And the other, we could make tables of values. So if you want to make the fastest way is the slope and the y-intercept, right? So if you have y equals to mx plus b, then the b is always the y-intercept, and the m is always the slope. That's when y is isolated. So in this case, m is equal to 3, and the y-intercept is equal to -2. So that means -2 is a point on the xy plane. So you can start at -2 and follow the slope. The slope is rise over run, right? Slope is always rise over run. So which means in this case, I will rise 3 and run 1. So I go up 3 from this point. 1, 2, 3, and over 1 brings me to this point. And I can do that so as many times. I do it again, up 1, 1, 2, 3, over 1. And so that would be my graph if I just connect those points. And that's using the slope and the y-intercept. I could also make a table of values. So if you want to make a table of values, so that means that you choose random values for x, substitute it in the equation, 3x minus 2, and the result will be y. And that will give you, a point. So for example, I can choose a point to be -1. So that means I replace x with -1, and I subtract 2 from that, and I evaluate this, simplify this. 3 times -1 is -3, minus 2 is -5. So that tells me a point would be at -1, -5. And I can do this for any amount of x that I want. So let's do it for -2. Well, let's do it for when x is 0. So if x is 0, I get 3 times 0 minus 2, and that gives me -2. Right? And I can do it for 1, which says 3 times 1 minus 2, and 3 times 1 minus 2 is 1. And we can do this as many times as we like, but let's say 3 is enough since it's a straight line. So you plot these points on the graph. 1, 1 would be right here. -1, 5 would be right here. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 0, -2 would be right here, right? If you plot those points. So it would be the same as if you use the slope and the y-intercept. Draw a straight line through those points, and then that would be your graph.